Stadium in Lethbridge, where we have a very special WCBL announcement today. My name is Mark Stiles. I'm the Managing Director of the Western Canadian Baseball League as it relates to everything marketing and sponsorship revenue related. And it's a pleasure to be in Lethbridge this morning for what we view as a very unique and fantastic announcement for the community of Oyen Alberta and the two teams involved. I'd like to introduce you to our head table. To my far left is the manager of Parks and Recreation in Oyen Alberta. Lee is with us this morning, Lee Tucker, and he'll be talking about the city or the community of Oyen and their involvement with this game. To my immediate left, he needs no introduction to the baseball community across Alberta and Western Canada, but he happens to be the mayor of Oyen Alberta as well. And that is Doug Jones. To my right is the president of the Western Canadian Baseball League, Kevin Kabandi, and also the owner of the Lethbridge Bulls here in Lethbridge. With us via Zoom today, we have from the Sylvan Lake Gulls, their general manager, Akil Samuel, is on the call. They will be the visiting team in Oyen on June 8th. And Akil is a former member of the Pronghorns as well, played in 1992-93, and as the trivia goes, Graham Swetzel, the owner of the Sylvan Lake Bulls, was on the 95 team. So why are we here today? We are here because it was the 30th anniversary of the Oyen Pronghorns winning at the time the Western Major Baseball League Championship. They beat Swift Current. We were called the Swift Current Indians at the time. The franchise still lives under the name of Swift Current 57s. So we are going back to Oyen. It's our rural roots game, and the community of Oyen is going to host us on June 7th and 8th. The game between the Sylvan Lake Gulls and the Lethbridge Bulls will be on Sunday, the 8th. I've introduced you to our panel. We want to thank Carson, who's here from CTV Lethbridge, for joining us today from the media. I know also we have Jones Tubbs from the Southern Alberta News is online, and if there's any other media members, we apologize that we didn't point you out, but we look forward to your questions after. So we're playing baseball in Oyen again on the 8th of June, and we'll start to my immediate left with Lee to tell us what it means to his community and how Parks and Rec are involved with this game.
Yeah, no, it's great. I think it's going to bring a lot of people into our community with those 3 days. We're actually bringing back some of the alumni. As many can come. We're going to host a golf tournament for the alumni, and the local will be into it as well. We're going to have 2 days of lots of baseball or minor hockey for our hockey season, but our minor ball teams will be playing. I think we're going to have some teams from down Consort, veteran area where Graham's from, and no, it should bring a lot of people, and I think it's going to be a real big event for our town. We're really looking forward to it.
Thanks, Lee, and Lee will be available for questions after should Carson or Jones, anyone have questions. I didn't mention that the mayor of Oyen is also the manager of the team that we will be celebrating in Oyen back in 1995, the 30th anniversary of that championship team. So the manager, now mayor of the Pronghorns, Doug Jones, I think this is a great weekend lined up for you to celebrate with your community, your alumni, and new fans as well.
Yeah, yes, it is. Thanks a lot there, Mark. Well, we're very excited about that. Now, this is going to be the first rural roots game that we're going back in history in the league. And like Mark said there, 30 years ago, I think we're going to have a great weekend. Lee had mentioned that we were going to have trying to get as many as the alumni back. We're going to have some games there with some local teams, and Kevin is wants to bring up some of his players and maybe do some camps and then maybe bring one of their teams with us where they would play a game. They would ride up with the bus and then play a game with us, just previous to, the main event, which is with Sylvan Lake playing Lethbridge. I think it's going to be look forward. It's going to be a great weekend. Family will probably begin on Friday night, and we'll have, as we mentioned, the golf tournament for alumni, and we have lots of fans here from back in days as Bill families and all those type of people, and those people are excited about being able to come and see some of their former players back. We're excited to have them. We're excited to hold this first game. We hope to do a great job of it. I'm sure the league would like to see this continue on, for the future. And I think it's a great admission by the league here. So thank you.
Thank you, Doug. And again, Doug will be available for questions at the end as well. This is something the league would like to continue on with after we hopefully have great success in Oyen. The gentleman to my right with the Lethbridge Bulls is Kevin Cavani. Kevin called me months ago and said, "Hey, Mark, what do you think about playing an off-site game?" And I said, "I think it's fantastic. Tell me more." And then he said, "Well, why don't we go to Oyen? It's the 30th anniversary of the of the Oyen Pronghorns." And I said, "Oh my gosh, so it'll be the 30th anniversary. We have involvement with the Sylvan Lake story that's natural. The Bulls will come and play." Well, Kevin, you made it come to reality. Congratulations on your first ever rural roots game.
Yeah, I think this is absolutely tremendous for the league as a tool to use in many communities. Because without these communities like Oyen, and you go back to the communities in Saskatchewan and throughout Alberta as well, without these communities in days gone by, I don't think we'd be at where we're at with Western Canadian baseball right now. Drawing in the reports of people that come to watch the summer college environment in Western Canada. So we're really excited. Oyen was a great fit. History of obviously Bulls were founded here in Lethbridge by Doug in 1999. So there's that tie to this. With him being mayor now in Oyen, the Pronghorns tie, the predecessor to the Bulls, Graham and Keel's tie to the area with Sylvan Lake. So we just want to make it a tremendous weekend. It's, like I said, we hope to bring a minor baseball team from Southern Alberta with the Bulls to Oyen to play a game that afternoon before the main event. And the kids travel up on the bus with the Bulls and have a day to remember when they go up and play in small town Alberta and have a great experience in Oyen. And just take put the spotlight of the Western Canadian Baseball League on Oyen in June.
We will move. There's so many ties with the Sylvan Lake Gulls playing the Lethbridge Bulls, but one of those ties is a guy that played on the original team in Oyen, who's now the general manager and vice president of everything for the Gulls in Sylvan Lake. Akil Samuel is joining us on YouTube this afternoon as well. And Akil, as rumor has it, he played for Doug in that original team in '92, and you were the leadoff batter in the very first game. I believe it's a trivia. So Akil, thanks for joining us, and tell us, tell us your memories with Doug, your teammates in Oyen, and what this game means on June 8th for your ball team.
For me personally, before the ball team, it means a lot. Like that, you're talking about billets. Doug and Yvonne actually billeted me in the 2 years that I played there. So, Oyen, and I grew up in Consort, just up the road. So, hoping to see some friends, and I guess we call them family that weekend. Really looking forward to it. So it's, for me personally, just to be back in Oyen that weekend and see some of the alumni guys from those first couple of years is going to be fun, and that means a lot for sure, and hopefully to see some friends come down from Consort for it, which would be great as well. See the golf course in Oyen and all the rest of that. Again, we'll be really, really looking forward to it. And from the golf's perspective, we're just to have Graham and I's connection on the Oyen Pronghorns from back in the day. Is huge, but this game means a lot to us too as well. We got a pretty good rivalry going with Lethbridge. I noticed there are 2 championship banners back there, which is nice subtle flex. I like it. But no, we've got a good rivalry going with Lethbridge to have a game against them in Oyen is going to be pretty special.
Akil, you have your Gulls Oyen hat on, but put on your WCBL hat to what Kevin and Doug both referenced. What do you think this means for the league and what it could mean moving forward?
Yeah, I think it's in the name, the rural roots, right? Like this, back then it was actually called the Saskatchewan Major Baseball League. I think Oyen might have been the first Alberta team into it, but that the roots of this league are, so entrenched in small town Alberta and Saskatchewan baseball. And for some of us that got to grow up in those small towns, baseball was a big thing. These communities really supported all our baseball teams growing up, and thinking back to some of those Oyen games with hundreds of fans out there, and kind of the whole community rallies around it. So to be able to do this again is pretty special, and I think this league has come a long way since those times for sure. But just to have an eye on where we came from is very important.
Awesome, Akil. Thanks for joining us. And Akil, like Kevin and Lee and Doug will all be available for questions. Having said that, I guess we will throw it out to the floor. Carson or Brent, who are with us on location at Smith Stadium, do you guys have any questions regarding this event?
I know you guys were just talking about the future of the game a little bit, like with this year and that, but for past this year, is there any possible insight or even just ideas that would come to mind of where you would want to another game like this in the future?
There's a list of communities that are on, I would say, a target list, but nothing has been really finalized. Trying to get through this first one first.
We have had a couple of league members reach out to us and say, geez, this looks like so much fun and such a good idea. We'd love to be the next host team potentially. But to Kevin's point, we want to hear what community it is. Let's get one behind us. And Doug referenced it. This is something we'd like to do on an annual basis to promote the Western Canadian Baseball League and some of our smaller communities.
Akil, when you're recruiting your team over the winter, you got everybody set to go now, and you probably told the guys they're heading out to Oyen for an afternoon game on a Sunday in early June. What was the reaction? Was it first where the heck's Oyen? And you probably said you probably said, well, it's actually a great little spot to play baseball. We're gonna have a good time. What was your players' response to that question?
Yeah, no, exactly that. Kind of, where's Oyen and stuff like that. But it was good. It's just a chance for me to talk about old times with some of these young guys. But, that, and it's a good question because it's important for these guys to understand, the towns like Oyen and that we're in this league, that the reason where this league is today is, the commitment of towns like Oyen and Haslett and Eston and, all these towns that were in it before. And, the Doug Joneses of the world is the reason that, this league exists today. So it's important for these guys to know that.
I'm going to direct this question to Doug, but anybody else can obviously answer it. This game, I'm sure, will bring back some memories of the Pronghorns days. Is there a favorite memory that comes to mind as we're discussing this game?
Right. Well, these people are going to bring it back lots of memories, that's for sure. The first game when we got off, we played and and it continued to progress for the number of years. And, well, I guess one of my favorite ones is actually when we played Team Canada down in Lethbridge in '95, and we were able to. Our pitcher at that time was Dave Hernandez out of California. He was drafted by the Expos in the 12th round. Who the pitcher was for Team Canada at that time, Jeff Silver was from the Cardinal, and it was 7-8. We had 7 hits and they had 8 hits, and they beat us by 1 run. So that was a real quite a beat for us. But be able to hang in because they've done a 40-game tour across Canada and their average was they were beat teams by 11 to 12 runs in the game. Anyway, that's just one of the big memories, and one of the big memories also when we won the league, of course. It was great to get off, and then from there on, I ended up being involved in a lot of the game teams after that. We could prove that we had people in Alberta, as long as we put the mixture work together, that we could compete in the rest of the world. So anyway, just enjoyed it. Thank you.
This is going to be a major undertaking for you, something a little bit different, something you're probably not used to. When this first got proposed to you in the town of Oyen, did you think, what the heck are we getting ourselves into? And how much work have you already put in, and how much more work you got to do? Because it's not just a baseball game for you guys. It's a lot that's going to be happening throughout the weekend. So tell us your role in this whole ordeal. The Lethbridge Bulls and Sylvan Lake Gulls are dropping into your lap a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit of a deer in the headlights here.
Well, I asked, yeah.
She's gonna be a big undertaking for a small rec department. We'll get it done. We've been working hard in the background already. I have a small department there. Hockey season's almost over. Now we can start focusing more on basically lining up seating, getting enough seating, good seating, working on the basically our beer gardens, all that stuff. This is a whole new gig. We don't have an enclosed stadium like this, so to make it work for us, we may have to make an enclosed stadium. We're working behind the scenes on it. One good thing there is, I don't know if anybody knows, but we have the Badlands Badgers Baseball Academy there, and they help us a lot on the field. So, and they've already thrown their support big time at us. So I think I'll have a lot to help. But it's gonna be a busy couple of months when spring gets ready for it. That's for sure. We'll get her done. We always do.
Rick, this question to Kevin and Keel. It's a bit of a unique situation as well for your players, I'm sure. Something that you hope they can take away from this.
Well, I just think that, it's like any new thing that they get to experience when they come to Western Canada. I mean, a lot of the players, it's their first trip to Canada. They get to, build a team camaraderie on the bus trips and road trips they have. This is going to be a unique road trip. I hope that they just embrace it and enjoy the experience. They're going to be superstars in a little community in Oyen for the day, and they're going to have mentors on the bus with the road team going up to Oyen and coming back with them, and it's just going to be a different experience for them. Hopefully one that they'll remember as a special memory in their baseball careers.
Yeah, and I think I'd echo what Kevin's saying there. I think just the experience for some of these guys, to go see, they're in a new country, a lot of them, and just to go, see Alberta and see, some of these small towns. I think hopefully it's something pretty memorable for them.
Last one for Doug. What's the youth of your community is going to take this for forever? Look, you have 7 or 8 year old kids, and these kids are big leaguers. It's probably some of the greatest players they'll ever see live. What's your hopes for the youth of the community, and what your hopes they take from this? Because you probably have some guys who thought they were Oyen Pronghorns back in 1995 with the best thing ever. So it's kind of be the same thing for the new generation of the youth of Oyen.
Well, I think one of the things like I said before, I don't think that lots of people in rural Alberta understood that if you bring this caliber of stuff in, and we've done it with the team, we've actually had 4 kids get drafted out of Oyen, and play, and so I think for the younger kids here, that they get to see that there is a real chance for them to be able to do things. And if they get a chance to play with the players in that, we're gonna have some training camps and stuff there. I think both teams are gonna be involved in doing those things. And that just, you look like today now, you go to women's hockey, I don't mean to go there, not to go there, but the expansion they've had in that there in just 1 year. And I hope that we can do the same in rural Alberta here with baseball. Anyway, I think it's just a great day. It will be a great day. Thank you.
If I could just add to that a little bit, baseball had kind of died off a bit in Oyen, and then the Badgers came, and baseball really took off in the Badgers. They got the youth involved in baseball again, and now we're probably running 3 or 4 local kids that are good enough now to play with the Badgers. It's just with that alone has really picked up baseball again in Oyen. I think this is just going to be good, right? Like you say, that these guys are God, those kids, right? When they come, it's huge. It's huge to bring this to Oyen.
Kevin or Mark, can you guys elaborate what the plan is for people who can't make it to Oyen? There's only X amount of tickets available anyways. How it's going to be broadcast? What's the plan? I know it's a little bit early, but all of a sudden it gets late pretty early too. So what's the plans for broadcasting for people who can't make it out to Oyen?
Game time is going to be 3:30 in the afternoon. And right now plans are to broadcast the game on the WCBL's official broadcaster, which is Global Sports. And we're going to be on the platform.
Yeah, no, the platform is when you identify Flow Sports, our new video streaming partner with Western Canadian Baseball League. So that is where we will get this game.
And we're actually looking to do a possibly, depending on how the camera setups and the technology, all of that comes together, a pregame show for that one as well. But give people a chance to look in at the game prior to the game.
Yeah, we worked with a company out of Regina called IKS Media, so we will be having special shows built specifically around the game. It will be well covered, Brent, for those that can't be there in attendance. We'll make sure we live in 2025, so we'll make sure people are able to watch.
That's all I got. Akil, anything else?
No, I think really excited about this, guys. I think we're on to something big for the league here, in future years as well. But excited to be out to Oyen that weekend and have a little fun. It'll be great.
We'll put Doug Jones on the spot to, because that's what I like to do. But any early predictions to win this baseball game, Doug? That's the I think that's probably the proper answer right now, Doug, because you're in a different territory right now, so you might not get out of here alive. But yeah.
We're very, very happy that the league wants to do this. Sure, it's going to be a great event. So thanks a lot, both to Kevin and to Graham for bringing their teams into our town. Thank you.
Awesome. I have one final question for the mayor. I believe the trivia is that you were the original villain for Akil Samuel. Did he make curfew every day?
I'm not on that.
Hey, they had the best billet house, by the way. It was a lot of traffic through there for sure in 2 years.
A lot of traffic.
All right. Any other questions to the host, Oyen, the Bulls, to the Gulls, or to the league office?
No, I think that's it.
All right. Thanks very much. We're tremendously excited about June 7th and 8th.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.